Hello, good morning. Well, it's morning for me. It's like 4:45 or something like that in the morning for me. But whatever time of the day it is that you've joined me, I hope it's good for you. Welcome to Authenticity the Hard Way. I'm Asha Zalika, and it is an honor for me to have you present at this time. I'm grateful for you taking the time out to sit with me, to listen to me ramble on, and share what's on my heart. I truly appreciate it. There are no words to adequately describe how grateful I am. If you're new to the channel and podcast, Authenticity the Hard Way is about reaching or becoming the next highest version of ourselves through the experiences that we have. I believe in most assuredly in the quote that says we are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And oftentimes, or more times than not, it is the hard, harsh experiences that we go through that are the catalysts for the most authentic change in ourselves. And that's what I have been led to share with you, with the world, is the harsh experiences that I have endured that have gotten me to this point. And don't get me wrong, good experiences are catalytic as well. However, trauma, fear, those, what do I want to say? The most jarring events and experiences are the ones that wake us up. Two things just come to mind off top is earthquakes. When the pressure on the earth and within the earth's core gets too great, the plates, like I know what I'm talking about, the plates begin to rub up against one another, if I'm getting it right. But anyway, that pressure that's in the earth core has to be released, and the earth begins to quake. Or even a volcano, when it gets, the pressure underneath gets too much and the lava begins to rise, and then we have the volcano that explodes. It's those build up, it's the things that through no coincidence at all, and I do not believe in coincidences, but when we have those life-altering, life-shattering experiences is when the psyche, the human psyche, wakes up and pays attention. Cataclysmic events like 9/11 got everybody's attention. Harsh things wake us up and draw attention to where changes need to be made. So, excuse me, that's authenticity the hard way. That's the premise, the foundation of this, I don't like the word platform, this, I'm going to call it a gift, because it is. Authenticity the hard way has been a gift to me, because in the doing of it, in the speaking of it, in the putting this all together, it has blessed me so, and enriched my soul and my life. So as it has been given to me as a gift, I now give back and give it to you as a gift. So, yeah, truly a gift. So anyway, when I started Authenticity the Hard Way a couple of years ago, as a podcast, I was strictly going off of past experiences. But what has been happening since I started the YouTube channel is like experiences. I'm more in the now of it. And I honestly believe that it is because I have evolved to this version of myself that is more present and more aware than I was 2 years ago. And that's what I love about this, is that by recording and doing the videos, I can now go back and see how I have evolved. I did a video from her to here, and that is the epitome of this right now, is that I'm in real time in my in this presence that I'm in now. I can look back and listen on the podcast and see how much I've changed. See how I can even in my tone, I can hear. This is amazing to me. But as I was saying, like, so my daily living has become it's no longer the randomness of just getting up and going through my day, but it is an experience. I am experiencing life from the human perspective of an observer. And the spiritual presence of awareness. I hope that makes sense, because I don't know how else to explain it. Okay, I could say, like, I'm watching, when you sit and you it's a movie that you like or a series that you like and you're watching it, but while you're watching it, it kind of feels like you're in it. That's where I am right now. It's like I am observing me experiencing life. And so life in and of itself has changed, has evolved. My understanding, my comprehension of life has changed so drastically, because years ago it felt like living like life was an enemy. because everywhere I looked, it was hard. My life was just so hard, and so much desperation, and so much fear, and so much not knowing when the next shoe was going to drop. Always living like because every time I turned around, it was something happening, or not being able to make ends meet, and not knowing what was going to happen. But through those experiences, okay, hold on. Excuse my language, excuse my French. But that saying that life is a bitch, said that. Clicked in my mind a few years ago. And, people saying, this happened to me, or life is just so hard to me. It dawned on me that as long as you keep viewing life as the B word, or viewing life as an enemy, that is what you are going to get. If you keep projecting negativity in your life experience, that's what you're going to get out of it. Because what I learned is that life doesn't happen to us. It happens for us, because we are the creators of our life experience. You say, well, no, I didn't try to be homeless. That was not a part of my 5-year plan. I wanted to get married and have a beautiful family and just be happy. But instead, I got married and it all fell apart, and I ended up homeless. And so how did I do that? I didn't do that. But yeah, I did. Fear. Distrust in my own self. I manifested everything that I was afraid of. The story in the Bible about Job. And Job's greatest fear was that something would happen to his family. And it did. And he said, the thing that I feared the most has come upon me. And that is what I have experienced to the 100,000,000th degree. All of my fears manifested in my life. Anyway, I don't know how I got over there. But anyway, yeah, in this present, so I'm living more presently now. I'm focusing more inward now. And I am absolutely seeing the results of that in my life. So, what I want to share, somehow I got there. What I want to share with you so amazing. When you decide that you want to become a better person, that you want a better life, and not for some outward goal, right? Like, no, people say, I'm going to become a better person because I want to make my wife happy, or I want to make my family happy, or any if you're working on yourself because of out of you stuff, your growth will be minimal because you're focused on the outside. You're focused on the material world, the world that you engage in with your senses, with your five senses. But when you determine within yourself to become a better you, to tap into your true self, for the ultimate goal of becoming your true self, that's where the magic begins. Because once we begin living from the inside out, we begin to engage with our life experience like, what do I want to say? Like an alchemist. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yes, like an alchemist. So an alchemist, alchemy, you change one metal into something else. But like a spiritual alchemist is where you come inside here. And let's say you focus on your ability. For me, it's love. I love. And as I learned I don't have a problem loving other people. That's easy. I just love. But loving myself was the problem. So as long as I could focus on loving you and doing good for you and helping you, I'm fantastic. But when it came to loving myself and coming inside and doing the work, the shadow work, the paradigm shifting, the digging deep, going deep into my soul and into my past and tracing the core beliefs that were instilled in me that made me believe that I was not worthy of love, and dealing with that, embracing the child, the little girl in me who only wanted love and affection from her father and only got rejection, going in and loving that little girl. That's where the alchemy took place, because I went inside and I turned that rejection into acceptance and changed the whole landscape of my inner being. And in doing that, it cleansed and purified the love within me that came out, and now I love on a different level. I hope that makes sense. The compassion that I have for others is just a natural part of me. But it changed the capacity and the power and intention behind it changed dramatically, evolved and elevated to a much grander arena, I guess you could say, when I held it for myself, when I began to show compassion to myself. That to me is spiritual alchemy, because I totally transformed my inner being and released my true being that was encased in lies, that was encased in trauma, right? Our core, our true authentic self that's inside of us is in there, but it's like mummified. I'm seeing a mummy in a casket type thing. It's encased in all of the conditioning, all of the generational pain and trauma, all of the neglect and abuse, all of the lies, all of the programming is encased in that. And we have to do what I like to call spiritual excavating and get in there like they do when they're digging for fossils or mining for stuff. You know, they go in with tools, right? They go in with some heavy tools. They're tearing the earth up to get down to the core and find what they're looking for. And that's what we have to do. We have to gather our tools. And gathering our tools means you just got to do the work. You got to dig deep into your own soul, your own heart, your own mind. Authenticity the hard way is to help give you the tools that we need. And the biggest tool is introspection, reflection, facing. You know, I think one of the biggest tools to reach our inner being is a mirror. That's good. That's a good concept. And why I'm about to cry, I don't know, but that hit me. The greatest tool, if you will, for helping us shed the false identity and personas that we have created is a mirror. Because if we look into that mirror and see what we are projecting or the disguise, the false people pleasing, going with the flow, sheeple parade. We look in the mirror and we see that and stop lying to ourselves about who we truly are. That's the first tool that we need. That's good. That's good. I wrote a story. I'm an author, anyway. And I called it the sheeple. No, I called it the masquerade. And it was about us masquerading as a part of the sheeple charade, the sheeple parade. It's just a bunch of sheep all look the same. Everybody, we all Everybody trying to look like somebody else. Everybody trying to be like somebody else. Everybody trying to masquerading around like everybody else. Anyway, that's not, I don't know how I got there, but apparently I needed to go there to get here. Yesterday morning. So, when you, or as I, have evolved into this current version of myself. Let me flip that. When we evolve into the next highest version of ourselves, we are starting at ground level. Acclimating into, and it takes time to acclimate into this version. And in doing so, things at this level have to be shed. They have to be addressed. You know what? What just came to my mind? You know in Shrek, where Donkey and Shrek are having the conversation and they start talking about the onion? That's where I'm going with this. At each part, to get to the next level, to get to the core of the onion, you got to go through the layers. That's good. So anyway, and each level that you go, the more you authenticate, the more layers come off. So, and it's more healing that has to take place. And that's what I want to talk about. Yesterday morning, I was in the kitchen making my coffee. And out of nowhere, a memory surfaced. And please understand me when I say I was shocked. It's like when it manifested, I was literally stopped. It was like life just stopped. And the memory played. But it played as me being the observer. It was in 1985. I was pregnant with my second son. I have 4, 3 living. One is my eldest son is deceased. So I was pregnant with my second son. And my now ex-husband, one day he looked at me. And he said, I hate you when you're pregnant. And he was high. And he left and disappeared for a few days. But the animosity and the disgust that he said it with, it fell into me like Okay, so like if you have a bowl of water and you put black dye into it, and how you can watch it just kind of swirl around, and then the bowl of water just is like, that's how his words seeped into me. And I can still feel how it just went through my body. And it's important for me to say that. So that was 1995. Around 1983, 84, 85, in that time period, my father looked at me one day and told me I was worthless and that I would never amount to anything. The same animosity, the same disgust. It's the same in both situations. So here I had my father as a young girl depositing that into me through his words. And then my husband did the same thing. Two men in my life who were supposed to love me and supposed to lift me up and protect me were the ones who damaged me. But with my husband saying that to me, that filtered through to my unborn son. And then I became disgusted with my own self, like his words manifested in me to the point where I wish I wasn't pregnant. I wish that I wasn't carrying that baby, because if I wasn't pregnant, then he would love me. Then I would be worth his love. 15 years later, in 2010, that son that I was pregnant with looked at me and said, "I hate you." I was pregnant with another son, my youngest son. That son looked at me and said the same words his father had said when I was pregnant with him. He looked at me and he said, "I hate you when you're pregnant." I stood at the kitchen, at the sink yesterday, in like a time warp. I came in my room And all I could do was just sit here and feel it. I totally repressed that memory. I forgot about the whole thing. Absolutely. I was shocked. Like, when I tell you I was shocked, I just sat here like, oh yeah, that happened. It's now 14, almost 15 years since my second son said that to me about my youngest son. And I forgot. 25 years? I totally forgot. And so I sat here and I cried. I wept from a place deep in my soul. I wept for so many different reasons. I wept for the little girl, the young girl I was when my father told me I was worthless. And I wept for the young woman when my ex-husband told me that. And I wept for the older than her woman when my son told me that. This version of myself, I cried for all three of those versions of myself. And I had to pull out my tools and allow those three versions of myself space to cry, to just be like I'm sitting here looking at myself saying, okay, it's okay. You can cry now. I had to heal me. I had to heal myself by acknowledging those three versions of myself and just giving space. Wow. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie, but Halle Berry did a movie some time ago where, she's a fighter, she's a boxer, and she had a son, and she was fighting and dealing with all of her stuff while trying to take care of her son. And at one point in the movie, she 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 described it. She was big and he was little. And she said, big will protect little or save little, something like that. That's the best way that I could describe that. Like me at this level, this version, this true me. With the power that I know I have. With this, with the what I was talking about, the new, greater, grander, more expansive ability to love and show compassion and empathy. Me here, had to go to each version of my previous self and give all of the love and all of the compassion and all of the empathy I could muster to myself, to myself. So that they could heal. I don't know how long I sat here, y'all. But I could feel within my heart and in my mind the release. It was just, the more I cried, the more I wept, the more I went into the memories and just allowed the memories to play out and then begin to fade. Until I couldn't cry anymore. There were no more tears left. And then I heard myself. I started speaking affirmation that I say throughout the day. I am whole. I am perfect. I am strong. I am powerful. I am loving. I am harmonious. And I am happy. But then my soul or spirit, wherever it came from, added, I am healed. And I spoke healing into each version of myself. And the more I repeated it, the more integrated I felt. The more wholeness I felt. And then my mind shifted to my ex-husband, my son, and my father. And I just spoke that over them. You are whole. You are perfect. And then it all ended with, I forgive you. I love each one of you. My father, my son, my ex-husband. I hold you in the highest light with love and compassion and forgiveness. And I release you. And I release myself from the experience of it all. said that, it was like it was like fresh, clear, cool, crisp water just washing over me. Just washing over me. You know, like when you've been in a hot day out in the hot sun, moving around, doing a whole bunch of stuff, and you come home and you just get in the shower, and that water just washes over you and washes away the grime and the day and all of that. That's how I felt. Refreshed, free, and whole. And then came the question, why? Why did that happen? Because I'm at a new level. I'm at a higher level. And it was time for that memory to emerge. Because I now have the tools. I now have the awareness. I now have love and compassion for myself to where it was safe for the memory to emerge so that I could be healed at this level, at this version of myself. Layers peeled off so that I could enter into this new life experience at this level of healing. That's why. Oftentimes when memories, traumatic and painful memories surface and we are in survival mode or we are whatever, those memories hurt in a different way and we don't want to deal with them. So we go to vices or we figure out some type of way to get rid of it because it hurts. But if you are serious about becoming that better person, if you're serious about elevating your life and yourself, the memories will come. They will arise. They have to, because how can you or how could I be the most authentic version of myself if I am not healed the past versions of myself? Because wherever I go, I am. There I am. My purpose is to become more authentic, but I cannot neglect the past versions of myself going into a new realm, a new space of authenticity. No, we all have to ascend or expand. All versions of me, all versions of you have to evolve and heal and integrate. It's just like no child left behind, right? In the school system, no child left behind. Every child deserves the same type of education. I'm just going there. It's what came to my mind. No child left behind. So no version of myself can be left behind. We all rise together and integrate into a whole authentic version. So I have healed twice in this. The first healing was yesterday when I just sat and embraced it and let it go. And the second healing is me sharing with you. I believe this is the seal, I guess you could say. It's because I shared it with you. And my hope is that you will take my experience and apply it to your experience. So that as I rise, you rise also. No version left behind. No. We are all one. I have been called a light worker, a lead, all these different things. I have been titles and things that I have been given. They all boil down to one thing. I rise. You rise. I evolve. You evolve. I find peace, joy, happiness. You find peace, joy, happiness. Because what am I without you? Nothing. That's how I see it. That would be nothing. The scripture where Jesus said, if you give a glass of water to the homeless, or you give to someone else and it's like you've given unto him, give, right? What I have, I give to you because I love you and because you deserve it. You deserve it. Freely I receive, freely I give. I hope that this resonates with you. I hope that on some level, whether you are conscious of it or not, that seed is planted within you, and in its appointed time, it will root and then blossom in your life and help you become the best version of yourself possible, because you deserve it and you're worth it. Thank you. Thank you for sitting with me. Thank you for receiving this. And until next time, just know